Welcome, returning and new subscribers. I am Goddess High Priestess Empress Alba La Pantera. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Bienvenidos a todos. Welcome, y'all. All right. Let me give y'all a few to get the notification for this live because we have quite a bit to speak upon. Okay. So, if you have been subscribed to this channel, I would say within the last year, you already know the vibes that we about to tap into when we incorporate it all. If this is your first time, welcome. You're in for a treat. Okay. Because we're really going to have a conversation. Okay. That will allow you to answer questions that you may be on hold with yourself to answer. Okay. And really looking at what it is that is really happening, as you can see from the title, right? Have a lot going on because that's exactly the energy that I've been picking up on and working with when it comes to my spirit guides and ancestors. And with these eclipse energy that we have been experiencing, all right, I wanted to, not so much wanted to, I allowed myself to feel, listen, use all the senses when it came to this particular eclipse season that we just have encountered. Well, still are encountering because in eclipse, that energy can go on for 6 months to a year, or you use it based on the way you want to use it. Let's just put it that way, right? Because time is an illusion. So I'm pretty sure you may have been hearing about what to do or what not to do when it comes to eclipse energy. Let's go into that first and foremost. What to do or not to do, always solely based upon you as the person. It is your life. Okay. But one thing I'm going to suggest, if you're going to work with that eclipse energy, it's a very powerful, okay, frequency that you're working with. Hence, it has a season to it. It's connected to the nodals, the nodes, the north node and the south node that we're having right now. Okay, in Aries and Libra. Aries having to do with you, who you are, I am, and then we have Libra, who you are within relationships and who you've become based on those partnerships and being in those experiences of those relationships, or um, uh, vehicles of movement when it comes to who you relate to and with, right? Don't forget to hit that Mars energy button when you're coming up in here. Cleanse thyself by hitting that Mars thumbs up energy button up there. Yes, yes. So do whatever it is that you want to do when it comes to any of these cycles. Do whatever it is that you want to do. But what I'm going to suggest is, and this doesn't have to do with just an eclipse, just in general when it comes to manifesting. If you're going to dedicate, okay, time out of your day to say your affirmations, right? This is about holding yourself accountable. If you're gonna take time out of your day to do your affirmations, know that what you're doing is to shift your paradigm and the way you are responding to your reality, possibly from a reaction to a response. Because the one thing that is your greatest gift that you're going to learn or have or remember that you have on this planet, in this realm, the greatest ability of anybody here, okay, is responsibility. Your ability to respond is your greatest gift and ability that you all are going to have here in connection to your purpose. And generally speaking, bottom line, top line, sidelines, all the way through, you're here to transmute energy. What and however which way the art form comes out, or it's animated, or it shows itself. Because we are literally an animated version of source energy in this body. So when you're manifesting or doing this manifestation work, just keep in mind that you have set yourself to shift your paradigm. So what that means is you have to be responsible thereafter with your actions and your words, which leads me to the next point. When it comes to your words, when it comes to who you are, God, Goddess, whatever it is that you want to label yourself as, when it comes to being an extension of source power. Now, in all of these affirmations and all of these prayers, okay, and this is the part where some of you are going to have or going to experience a recalibration, okay? In the beginning was the word. Now, when you're doing these affirmations and these prayers, who is the one with the word? You are. In the beginning was the word. In the beginning is you, the animated version, okay? The animation of and the extension of source energy or source power. That is you. So what I mean when it comes to the recalibration, how many times are you setting yourself up to do affirmations, calling on the universe, and continuously, some way, some shape or form, still pointing the finger outward in terms of the creation is coming from outside to you, when it's actually coming from within, outside of you, from within to the outside? Because in the beginning was the word. Who's the one with the word? And I'm not just saying the word here coming out of your mouth. Those thoughts, those are words too, in whichever language it's being expressed. Okay? So, welcome everyone. Welcome Alana. Welcome Rhea. Welcome Intuitive Flow. Welcome Sister Rin. Okay? So, yes. Work with whatever energy you want to work with, but in an energy such as the eclipse and manifesting, and in speaking of emotions being supercharged at that time, is very similar to the chariot of ascension. If there is anything in your life that you are still reactive to, handle that before you sit here and work with the eclipse energy. And I'm speaking to you as an ancient high priestess at this point. Because you know what's unfortunate to see within the community is just telling people what to do in a way that is you can hear the ego still in charge. See, when I make a suggestion, I am making suggestion based off of my ancestors, my spirit guides, the source within me, because I know myself and I know what I am here to do. And I overstand my collective. If you've been here more than a year, you know I overstand this collective. That if it comes to a point where there's certain energies that have to be removed and source directs me to it, that's the way I roll. I don't play with energy, not in that manner, the way the human heart would. See, from the cosmic heart, it's a different story, because with the human heart, a lot of these experiences that you're seeing in your physical reality, when it comes to the human heart, it's going to hurt. It's going to cause depression. It's going to cause anxiety. It's going to cause all these, these physical things that you experience here. Yes, by choice. When it comes to either you reacting or responding to a situation. And I'm going to take you to where we started from with this. Your greatest ability here is going to be responsibility. And it's a very tricky word, but trickster is connected to Mercury. Okay. The messages can come very quickly, but you have to be still enough to be able to see what's going through, even at the speed that it may be, moving past you or through you. So before coming live, I was asking myself whether to do the live or to do a recording. But I noticed in making that decision, a lot was going on here in the heart chakra. So there is a massive cleanse, a reawakening of your true heart. I mean, beginning was the word 1111 as I looked at the timer. Who's the one with the word? You. Your word is your life. Your word is your life. Because every condition that presents itself to you has to do with the word if. And what's the biggest part of that word life? If. Your life is based upon your own word. Some of you, that own word, it ain't even yours. It's still something that has been built within you, okay? Which was the purpose of, or the energy connected to this full moon eclipse that we just had in Taurus, Venus energy, and we are currently in the Venus hour. Venus is actually right now in Virgo, 21 degrees. I'm going to go from one thing to the other here because I don't want to miss these messages. Nothing's going to be missed, but it's flowing. However, let's look at this. I'm going to read to you Venus 21 degrees inside of degrees, metaphorically speaking, by Elias Lonsdale. I'm going to read Virgo 21, and I'm also going to read Pisces 21. So we can see the polar opposite energy. So we can see the physical body of this energy, Virgo, and the spiritual essence of it, Pisces. Okay. So let's look at this. Venus 21, dark river and distant bell. Let me see. Can y'all hear me well? I feel like you are hearing me well. Before. Ashe. All right, y'all, let's get it. So we are in a Venus hour. We're going to read Venus, Virgo, 21 degrees, dark river and distant bell. So much to be done, so many fragments to move with, such a confounding. The one inside is calm and quiet, poised and accepting, knows what shall be. The one outside is frantic with events and experiences which do not add up. Venus and Virgo. We are currently in the Venus hour. And this is a message for the collective. Let's start that over with Virgo 21. Dark river and distant bell. You notice that there's so much going on around you, but yet still don't know what the direction is. But let's get to it. So much to be done, so many fragments to move with, such a confounding. The one inside is calm and quiet, poised and accepting, knows what shall be. The one outside is frantic with events and experiences which do not add up. Severe conditions to test the soul and give the mind quite a scare. The process is to keep going into a little, the process is to keep going into it a little further despite yourself, and to keep losing who you thought you were in the bargain. But there's somebody to be when there is nobody left to be, and only then. The only person that's not taken in this illusion is you. Hmm. Let's pause for a second. Let's go to the spiritual body. Then we're going to put it all together. But before putting it together, I'm also going to read to you Pisces 25 degrees, which is what Source had me look at. And I'm also going to relay the message to you all. Why am I looking at Pisces 25 degrees? Because that is actually the distance in between Saturn and Neptune. In terms of Saturn and Neptune being in Pisces, Saturn in Pisces 0 degrees, Neptune in Pisces 25 degrees, both in retrograde. But Saturn will be going direct on the 4th of November. We'll get to that in other videos. So this is why we're also going to look at Pisces 25 in connection to this. You're about to see where we're going with this. But Pisces 21, polar opposite energy to Venus and Virgo, 21 degrees. Pagan fire worshippers dancing. Trance states at home in psychic realms and other realities. The self abandoned to the tribe, to the sweep of the moment, to the energies that arise. On fire with longing and poignant, bittersweet reflections. A throwback, a native, a primal soul, emotional depth centered, super physical. You are energized tremendously by special occasions, extraordinary meetings, unexpected miracles, and tragedies. There's a lot going on here. Expectant and waiting for something wild and unknown to break through. Mediumistic, vicarious, and charged with a life force, Aries, that must be followed out. Did you hear that? That life force that must be followed out. And what better season to do that than Scorpio season? Get into the depths of the situation, get into the surface, the Earth's core, the core within the Earth's core, within yourself. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mediumistic, vicarious, and charged with life force that must be followed out. So, what does that look like? What does that? There you go. Literally, as I'm just about to say it, butterfly. You have your wings, but some of you still moving around here like you don't have them yet. Which is why we began with, in the beginning was the word, the one with the word is you. And a lot of the programs that have been passed through had a lot to do with, in the beginning it was the word was with God, but the God that people spoke of had everything to do with something outside of you when it starts within you first. That entire process of conceiving a child and you being this vessel right now watching this, going from a liquid form to bones and physical matter and things of that nature. And so where that is some magical shit. That type of amnesia is some magical shit. And it starts from the moment that you're born. With artificial lights, traumatic experiences being cut at the umbilical cord, and all of that information, 14 DNA strands can't fully be transferred through. But see, most of you in here have gone through your spiritual journey, as we're speaking of Venus and Pisces, because this is the channel message that's coming through. You have gone through this journey to gain your wings back. You have gone through the rebirth. You know what death is. You know that you don't have to die physically for this type of transformation, that you experience heaven on earth, because we already discussed that heaven is the most heaped up space within any dimension or within any realm. So your first dimension is your body, or your first reality is your body. What's the most heated up space in your body? It's going to be here with your pineal and pituitary gland, which is the penis, pineal, vagina, pituitary. When you're at bliss, there's a full orgasmic experience that's happening between those two. But the pituitary connected to the receptive energy, the feminine energy has been shut out completely. That to use your intuition has at some point in your life along your journey, which is part of where you have re-experienced it, gained your wings back, and it's time to wake up. Source is saying, wake up, move as though you have your wings. Why are you still crawling? Let's read. Let's read. A certain distinctive fate to be at times disappearing and gone, and at other times resurgent and mighty, all depend upon the tides of fortune. And it would always change in unpredictable, exciting, disorienting, and multiple ways. Ironically so, Venus is in a trine with Uranus, which is all about all of a sudden changes out of the blue. Well, yeah, out of source, coming from the truth. Or when I'm saying source, truth, that has to do with a conversation, throat chakra, Taurus, Venus. Let's look at this. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a very smooth change to your emotional state with Venus and the trine to Uranus. Some of you, okay. You know why that eclipse energy was so strong? Because collectively, you're about to experience relationships, partnerships in any area of your life that you so choose. Okay? Because you're at a clean slate right now. We're approaching new moon in Scorpio too. So you're at a very clean slate right now in terms of the relationships you want to have in your life. Some of you may have experienced a wheel of past experiences coming back one after the other, after the other within the last, I would say 2-3 months, or since June. Yeah, within the last, yeah, from June. So the last half of this year, basically, there's been a wheel of past situations that has been coming up and coming up and coming up because apparently you have the vessel that has been awakened. You understand the death mysteries. So this is why these experiences are coming back through, but you're moving as though this is your first time experiencing this. Don't know who I'm speaking to. This is the message. You've been crying a lot. Cold. Oh yeah, we have. That's another thing. Here we go. Here we go. So that's definitely bringing through a lot of energy. I'll tell you that. Whew. 23. Give me a moment here. Some of you are also going to have unexpected meetings, negotiations as well. If you're looking to change your appearance, positive changes with that. Especially Venus dominant, Taurus, Libra. Let's look at Pisces 25. Because it was this after the eclipse that I was looking at the chart and source said, look at Saturn and Neptune. What is the degrees in between those two? So, okay, that's 25, Pisces 25 right there. Well, 24, 25. Pisces 25. People and animals frightened during an eclipse. Let's talk about this eclipse, first and foremost, the solar lunar eclipse. That phase right there where the day dims out, usually you'll hear that in some of the religious texts as the day of a new uh, symbol, or the time that the symbol came through of the cross in the sky. Let me look at this, because I don't want to just be. Where did you go? Yeah. New moon solar eclipse. 7:02 is when I put this down here. 7:07 p.m. Matthew 24. And I looked at the lexicon, the Hebrew messages here of number 24, which means fresh young barley ears, month of farming, month of ear forming, excuse me, March, April. So March, April, all right, very significant here. But the verse that we're looking at, Matthew 24, 29 to 31, immediately after the distress of those days, the sun will be darkened and the moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from the sky and the heavenly bodies will be shaken. Then will appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. Now, ay, 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 ay. When I tell you this is one book of magic, let me tell you something. Pay attention. Okay? These are just downloads, uploads between me and source during this time. So we're looking at, this was on 10/22 that I was actually vibing with this energy. Immediately after the distress of those days, the sun will be darkened. We can look at that in this manner. The sun will be darkened, solar plexus, which is also your gut, your fourth brain. You have cerebrum, cerebellum, medulla oblongata, and your gut, solar plexus, as the four brains of the human body. Okay? Immediately after the distress of those days, whatever days, okay, of distress, the sun will be darkened. Some of you may have been fasting in terms of the darkening of the sun, and the moon will not give its light. Okay? The moon will not give its light. The moon has to do with your emotions connected to memories when we're speaking of you, and we're speaking of astrology, things of that nature. Okay? So the moon will not give its light. Emotions connected to memories will not be so visible. Okay, is what I'm picking up from this right now as I'm telling this to you. The stars will fall. Stars are angels of light, angels, from the sky, and the heavenly bodies will be shaken. So this has something to do here, will fall from the sky, father sky, crown chakra, okay? And the heavenly bodies will be shaken. The stars will fall from the sky, and the heavenly bodies will be shaken within the crown, because that is where the dormant cells are, which is why, okay, if you've seen it already, it's one of these videos about fasting and making sure that you're in the healthy state of mind while the moon is in your sun sign for those 2.5 days. Because then will appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. Because then you will receive a sign, for some of you that's an epiphany, A lot of epiphanies were coming through this new moon solar eclipse energy. Now, Matthew, the book of Matthew, has everything to do with your willpower or your fourth brain, your gut, solar plexus. That's the book of will. Okay, so then it led me to Revelation 12, verses 1 to 2, which showed me verses in relation to ascension symptoms. Let me go back to it. Hold on. Told you he was going to have a conversation. We're going to pull some cards, but we're going to have this conversation first. And the new moon in Libra was at 21 degrees. So 21, we already know that to be the world card, right? Capricorn energy. But this could also speak of the different cycles of your life, different generations, lifetimes. So this is also why some of you may have experienced someone from the past coming back. It's the vibe of when they came through at that time, that wasn't the timing. They didn't enter the portal at the timing they were supposed to enter, and now they have returned. But something may have transpired that doesn't allow you to fully open up to choosing them as a partner. To each its own. Just a message coming through with that. So yeah. So Matthew 24, 29 to 31, this is where you'll find, a verse here about the moon and eclipse energy pulling through. So when I say reset, you're going into these partnerships. The message I'm getting right now is that some of you, it sounds repetitive, but some of you are still going into a situation with your old self. And for some of you, I can feel the frustration coming from your ancestors at this point. 32, 32, 23, 23, 32, 32, 5, 5. Okay. So let me see what's going on, because obviously there's a message from one of your guides here, because thank you, Mama Universe and Papa Universe, ancestors, spirit guides, angels, known and unknown, protectors, warriors, nurturers. Ashe, ashe, ashe. The waiting game. Whoever this is, it's a lot of nerves. Virgo energy, nervous system, the waiting game. Some of you could be waiting on some results here. Suffering in silence. Okay. What I'm getting from this may have to do with something that some of you are looking for, an answer from an ancestor about something you've been suffering in silence about. Show me this. Mental conflict. Stuck in between something here. Waiting game. Stuck in between transformation. Yeah, see? 213. That's Aquarius. That's 7 of Swords, Moon in Aquarius. stuck in between transformations. This really feels as though it's given the energy of an abyss, solitude. We have the Hermit here. Moving on. Six of Swords just came right on out. This moving on is going to happen in a way that you feel as though you're moving on autopilot. The universe is moving you on. Whatever this is that you're stuck in between with mental conflict, waiting on, the universe is going. That's also been a message I've been picking up on. Tower moments. Again, Venus in a trine to Uranus is going to bring about unexpected meetings or negotiations. Okay, the energy is lightening up now. Yeah, emotional withdrawal. The energy will lighten up once you emotionally withdraw. And in speaking of, the moon will not give its light, is the way I am basically translating that. The moon will not give its light. So emotions connected to memories have been cleansed, wiped out, dissolved. And whatever this was literally the layer that was sitting right on top of the perfection of you in your yes and your no's when it comes to responding in life and not reacting. Ideally enough, the galactic signature of today is the white planetary dog. And the way the white planetary dog brings order to chaos is perfecting in order to love, and perfection usually comes with the energy of Virgo in terms of a habit. So doing something over and over and over, a ritual, perfecting it. And the way I see perfection is more so your perception of what you consider to be a fact and the way it emotionally drives you. You see? Fact, emotion, perfect. Don't let nobody tell you you can't be perfect. Bullshit. There's a lot of verbiage and a lot of cliches and things that are being said that are the biggest spells. Which is why the human heart and the cosmic heart have two different languages. I saw this post that said, which is something for, to be mindful of when it comes to a leader. And because every environment is as great as their leader. So that leader is either focused on a role or the goal. That was the post. It said something related to that. A manager or a CEO, the difference between that or that title would be someone who focuses on a role and the other that focuses on a goal. Two different energies right there, for real. Because the one that focuses on a role, that's that human heart energy. The goal, that's that cosmic heart, because it's looking at the bigger picture while still utilizing the tools or sources or substance. Money is also a form of substance to play this game of life. The other message is change your vibration, change your relationship with money, the verbiage. Nothing's too much, nothing is like that type of thing where someone may be saying what you want to purchase something and you're calling it expensive. It's very similar to what I was saying earlier about using the eclipse energy, manifesting with the eclipse energy. You walk outside your door, somebody piss you off, they done took you out your whole fucking square. You just finished manifesting with an eclipse energy. How did you just come off your square that quick? This is all I mean in terms of manifesting with energies. Know what you're doing. Be mindful of yourself and the steps that you're taking. And this is where you start to ask yourself why you're doing something. or why you have allowed others to do certain things towards you that you may have experienced in saying this has been done to me when it was happening for you, so that you can see it and set a boundary, so that way you're not experiencing that over and over and over again. But this here, once you move on, is when you'll be able to emotionally withdraw. Let me see. Let me get some more. Let me. We have a new deck, y'all. Afro Brazilian Battle. Amazing. It's another reason why my ass in my, because these cards been. Let's go. As this was coming out, I kept on getting the energy of like the no, wait, no, wait. Seven of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Baba Luaye, which is the Orisha of the Hermit in this deck. Baba Luaye connects to Saturn. We have here the Hermit with the Five of Cups, Mars in Scorpio energy, Five of Cups. We have here this red cat tipping over this teacup, tea vase here. Let me see something. What are you doing? Some form of mischief here. Baba Luaye cures diseases, but also brings them on. We have here the Five of Cups and this Hermit card. The waiting game, transformation, moving on, emotional withdrawal. Whoever you are, you have a strong connection with the portal of transformation, death. What is this here? We have the Seven of Cups with Temperance, Sagittarius. Either you or Sagittarius will have to make a decision about a Sagittarius. Virgo here, sorrow, pains, and regrets. What's going on here? Transformation again. With the moon's energy in the background. Yeah, whatever this is, it's time to let this go. If you, whoever this is, whatever it is that you're waiting on, you got to let this go. Make this clear for whomever this is. Page of Wands. Fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag. Pisces here with the Knight of Cups, and then the Sun card. You're being asked to let go of something because the new is right at the door. The new is right at the door. Which is why once you move on, you'll be able to emotionally withdraw. Some of you are still connected to something while starting something new. That's what's coming through here. 14, there goes Temperance. Show me this energy of Temperance. Astral travel. Caution needed. Yeah. This is why I said this is the Chariot of Ascension. You got to be mindful. Because in the Chariot of Ascension, you're going to spaces that you're connected to in other worlds that are of your higher self. So you can't be going up into these realms with all this baggage that you have in this realm as you still learning when you're really here to remember. 3. which also connects to Mercury. Caution needed. This is a strong message for whoever this is, holding on to something that emotionally is sucking you dry. You out here talking about that you taking your power back, but meanwhile your power is elsewhere where it's just being thrown out. You don't have your power yet. You better recognize this eternal union that's forming. You can sense it. Look at all this energy that's surrounding y'all right now. What is that? 315 Pisces? Mars in Pisces? Spiritual warrior. The Aries within you. Life force. North Node is in Aries now. Okay? So that is the focal point, who you are. Doing what you want to do based on who you are, your life force. Not what you've been taught. You ain't learned shit here. You as you go along, you remember. You, high spiritual initiate, pay attention to those words that people are speaking to you and telling you. And when you enter something, quote unquote, new that you're learning, now you ain't learning shit. You're here to remember. You're picking up skill sets along the way as you remember. Whoever you are, you're a distinguished magician, wizard, witch, healer, very distinguished. So your lessons ain't nothing to play with, and they all targeted the heart chakra. Obviously so, because you come here with the cosmic heart to teach that. Spirit messages, observe your limitations. Some of you observe are you say that you are observing your limitations, but you're actually experiencing it. An example of that would be you saying that you've taken your power back from someone that you have ended a relationship with, but yet still entertaining the energy and wondering if yes, there are cycles of that nature. Absolutely. But this energy I'm talking to here is the cosmic heart. You don't waste time in energies of that vibration where something or someone around you doesn't know when you know yourself. And you continue to do the work to know yourself. Because you have to be mindful of those who you're surrounding yourself with and the conversations that you're having or that are being had by people around you. And does it resonate with who you are or evolving into continuously? Pay attention to those limitations, moments that you experience a response that was actually a reaction and you are aware of it, but you're still allowing yourself to do it. And another example of that would be agreeing to something just not to disagree and explain yourself. That's a fear of your own word right there. And then worried about what someone is going to be doing too much outside yourself. Way too much. Wheel that shit back in. Feel me? What else? Because whoever this is, Source is not playing with you no more. No more. You know what you have to do. You know what you have to do. Just get it done. Don't seek validation from anyone. You don't have to ask anybody any questions as to when you think or what. You know what you got to do. Celestial gatekeeper. Third eye vision. Reclaim your mind. Timing is critical. That's why this message is coming out here. Because some of y'all about to miss your own fucking gate. It's the energy of a comet or something that happens at least every 10 years. You're at that mark again. Every 10 to 15 years. What's going on here, source? Listen. Ten of Wands, Knight of Swords. You know what? Whoever this is, you call yourself being psychically attacked. No, you. The more attacks you get, the stronger you're actually becoming. Boss up, yo. Know yourself. Remember who you are. You come from a lineage of people who actually give this right, or allow whomever it is that wants to use certain frequencies or powers or crafts. Some of you are connected to the primordial energies of these crafts, and so much so in terms of bringing back the substance of it, the heart to it. I'm also seeing a connection here amongst parents and children. Smooth sailing. I don't know why that looks like I'm seeing a 7-month-old belly. 7-month-old belly. That baby is very powerful. Specifically, if you are 7 months pregnant, or you know someone that's 7 months pregnant, specifically 7 months pregnant right now. They felt your connection. This is why they chose you. There's something about you clearing out 9 different lessons or tests when it comes to 9 different crafts you can work with. Minimum of 9. So it's the 9th child. You could be the 9th child. I'm also getting could be the 9th child who had a child when they were 7 months. That they delivered the baby at 7 months. A 9th child that delivered the baby at 7 months. Show me the divine feminine energy related to this. You have a very strong connection to calling in spirits, your angels. Also, Dr. John has been popping up a lot too. Voodoo priest. New Orleans. St. Bridget, and she's back. St. Bridget. And then the Pope. Whoever this is, religion played a very big role in your life. A lot of your abuse or trauma had to do with religion, sacred values, decisions made based on past sacred values. You went through 9 different lessons, 7 to 9 different lessons, minimum 7. This may have had to do with you giving endlessly. Because being taken advantage of was what triggered your celestial body that was being gate kept. Why is it even, you know what? I don't ask no questions. The celestial part of you that was being gate kept. The high priestess. And then we have Aquilanda, the goddess of never not broken. Everything happens for my liberation. I choose to become only more love. I am one with my soul. My soul is a legacy of love, the high priestess. Yeah, Saint Bridget. She's connected to Gede, which his day is coming up. Purple and black. Let's see here. Yeah, you gotta stop giving endlessly to situations that got you in a cycle of sin. Not hitting the mark, not hitting your target. This is why the cycle keeps repeating. But now source is coming in to help you to emotionally withdraw by disconnecting you from it. This can come through the form of another person, a new form of excitement, a new meeting. Then we have here 2 of Swords and the 6 of Wands. Yeah, you may be in your head about it, but just know that you have a grandmother that is protecting you and is actually bringing this to you or opening this door for you. Nanambuglu, devotion to the grandmother. Allow her to continue to speak through you. Your success is connected to the rituals you've been doing. Don't let up. Remember that new moon in Virgo, all right? Don't let up. Because the new moon in Virgo is where you began to set new habits, rituals, Virgo. What do you want to work on when it comes to your health? For some of you, yes, get into those books and whatever you can find when it comes to herbs. They've been calling you. There's been certain smells you've been smelling. Go towards them. The back of your mind has been wide, has been the back here. Medulla oblongata, okay. Now you're going to be able to feel the transfer from grounding your light. All right. Now you'll be able to feel the transfer from grounding your light. See the back of your head. Your sonar abilities are now coming online too. Sonar abilities are coming online as well. Very ancient abilities are coming online. Slow and steady. This is why I said move as though you have your wings, because you do. Some of you literally may decide you want to do something one day and decide you don't the other, and you just change your whole life like that. Then we got 9 of Pentacles here. Independence, entrepreneurship, yamaya, abundant, fertile, prosperity, amazing love life as well. I want to, what else? Ancestors. I'll look at your comments in a few. Whee! Possession. Okay. Strength. Strength. Possession. Venus. Taurus. Libra, strength, possession. Taurus, of sacred values, emotional security, liquid assets, cash coming in for some of you here, right? Libra, strong partnerships, healthy, ones that you can grow in, ones where when you're growing, your partner's not envious of you. It's the weirdest shit. I know. Ooh, I Zen, the Empress. You got the High Priestess and the Empress coming through here. Yes. Let's look at these. Yeah, I'm telling you, you possess great powers of an Empress here. Because you're also tapped into the High Priestess version of you. You can literally run a galaxy. You're a celestial gatekeeper. This is why. You're literally, you can use it if even if you are a male figure, masculine. This is also that right brain part of you that is opening up. And this is also why whatever it is that you may have been waiting to decide on, why you may have noticed you're doing it now, not so much with fear, because if you do things with fear, you're gonna have to repeat that shit again. That's another shit we gonna get out of our mouths. Do this shit with fear. No, fuck that. No, no. Do it with love. These past, this is what the eclipse season did for one. I said, would you look at this shit here? All the stuff we be talking about, people be putting through our ears, through conversation. We gonna have to tone that shit out. Like, completely dissolve all that. It's crazy. Yeah, Ting Bonage, the temperance. All right. So we got strength, empress, and temperance. Yeah, very strong alchemist here. Telling you, you possess great powers of death mysteries. Let's go to my deck. My deck. Ancestors is right here at the bottom of the deck. They said, let's talk. Let's talk then. Let's continue. Man. Let's continue. Some of you are also on this path of the way you communicate is changing. The way you communicate is changing. And you still have people around you that communicate with you based on the old version of you. Figure it out. Now. Because remember, the beginning was the word. Mercury. The brain instructs the rest of the body and your thoughts. See what Mercury is doing right now. Scorpio. 14 degrees. Let's see what we are actually in a Mercury hour. You got to be shitting me. Well, no. Okay, here we go. Soon. In about 24 minutes. We'll be in a Mercury hour. Okay. And it's in Scorpio right now. 14 degrees. What you talking about? Women dressed in black. They are wailing and mourning. Oh, Pleiadians. Darkness, heaviness, sobriety, grimness. Grief for lost worlds, dramatically cleansing what must be let go. Freeing the spirit, laboriously and intensively preoccupied with endings and captivated by the past. Who are fascinated with the decomposition of things, living deep in the unconscious inside collective dramas. There you go. That's perfectly described right there in terms of getting to the depths of things, depth mysteries. Yep. Who are fascinated with the decomposition of things, living deep in the unconscious inside collective dramas, lost to yourself, thrown into patterns, syndromes. And when you're thrown into patterns and you're seeking guidance, call on Archangel Uriel. Okay. It says thrown into patterns, syndromes within you, which will light the sword of fire within you. Worlds, okay. Thrown into patterns, syndromes, worlds that require drastic measures to transform. There's so many different worlds out here, right? A feeling of being cursed, a sensibility of doom, a creation of the worst inside, the long established, deeply ingrained consciousness of stark limitation, getting under it and destroying it the long, hard way. So that's the Mercury aspect of you that is literally helping you through, that the ancestors are saying, helping you through whatever this is that is boiling up within you. This has a lot to do with passion, though. A lot of these changes within your personal life is what's triggering these new partnerships. 724. What is that? It's bringing in these new partnerships. 724. What is that? Let's look at the gematria on this. Audrey Hale, Number of the Beast, Life's Like a Simulation, September 13. All the Right Reasons, The Last of the Mohicans, The Brotherhood of Death, The Third Eye. President Kamala Harris is on this list, 724. All Seeing Eye of God, Natural Born Liar, All Seeing Eye of God, Natural Born Liar. Eternal Hellfire Birthmark. It's been a short time. Claustrum. Klaus. Christ Oil. Conroe, Texas. The Tribulation. Zodiac Hint. Gemini, Virgo, connected to Mercury. God is human on earth. There's your message. You don't even need to look any further. All of y'all. What's good, Mercury? God is human on earth, and the card that comes out 1122. Journey on the planet, Earth Kai, evolving. Be what you want to attract. For some of you, this has to do with family. And then speaking of the smooth sailing between parents and children, you want a smooth sailing partnership or partnerships with your family, you have to be that with yourself first. You have to let go of situations that um, weren't working in certain dynamics, why it wasn't working. If you want something to move forward, pay attention to what it is that you're focused on. Are you focused on the problem or the solution? Because if you're focused more on the problem, you're going to get more of that. It says here, you are an ancient, divine feminine, divine masculine. You are remembering. Stop doing things for others you will not do for yourself, what you're not doing for yourself any longer, as you have been on this shamanic journey, all right, of transmuting the dark into light. Warrior of light also connects you to Archangel Michael, Joan of Arc energy, the month of May. Then we got shamanic journey, integration of spirit and soul with the body, collecting all fragments of the soul. It was the purpose of this journey, as we just read, right? Mercury in the sign of Scorpio right now, 14 degrees, which connects to, we even finished that, did we? It's okay. Laboriously and intensively preoccupied with endings and captivated by the past. You are fascinated with the decomposition of things, living deep in the unconscious inside collective dramas, lost to yourself. Thrown into pattern syndromes worlds that require drastic measures to transform. A feeling of being cursed, a sensibility of doom, a creation of the worst inside, the long established, deeply ingrained consciousness of stark limitation, getting under it and destroying it the long hard we did. But I don't recall saying that. Anyway, wow. Okay. Then we have the chosen one, Gematria 10, 20, 11, 56. Some of you may have been seeing that number 10, 20, or 11, 56 quite often as you're being examined by the ancient creator, that which is within you. The holy parents within you are speaking, letting you know it is finished. The process of transformation due to the shadow work that you've been doing. You have here 1 to 5 days. Now, the Naga Pearl here speaks of the nether realm of earth or underworld, half human, half cobra. Wisdom gained through experience, which also speaks of 7th house Libra energy. You're becoming the light. You're shining now. The God within you knows, and this is why you're becoming a brighter light. There are things being sent to you to feed on you, but they can no longer feed on you. Such is life. 1 to 5 days. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, Proverbs 18:21. And they who indulge in it shall eat the fruit of it. I'm telling you. They go there, number 21 again. 18 connects to the moon. You don't want the next tower moment not recognizing who you fully are. This ain't no fear monger. I'm just, this is the message. Death and life are in the power of your tongue. That has been the message throughout this conversation. Being mindful of the words that are flowing around you. When it comes to who you allow, there is one card in here, well, few, from the surrender deck. Let's look at those. Wow. Okay. Say less, because I do be doing me, being me. Let's see what these surrender messages are. That deck is not up here. Okay. Surrender to setting limits. It is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs and remember that no is a complete sentence. Wow. Practice expressing what it is that you're lacking. Why? Let's see here. This is what you have to surrender to saying no to. Because you've done more than enough of that. Yeah. Now it's healthy to set boundaries and tell yourself no when it comes to what it is that you're expressing that you need. When, look at that Wonder Woman. You got everything you need. You don't need anything. If you have everything you need, you don't need anything. Some of you are asking somebody to fulfill you or a certain emotion that they're not going to be able to fulfill you with. You have to do this for yourself. Again, going back to having your power back, but still giving people the authority to bring forth this emotion out of you, however which way. So when surrender to wonder and awe, open to the magic of every moment and sense the awe and wonder in all of life. This attitude will keep you connected to the ecstasy of flow. Surrender your desire to control people. You want to know what this is here? Because this starts to rise up when that Kundalini energy begins to rise itself as well. All right, through your transformations, you're becoming much wiser. You're going to have this urge to want to help people, but know what you are here to do and connect with those who allow you to be the whole version of yourself. So if you come with the package deal of A, B, and C, they can't just take A and B and expect to see through it. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. The package is A, B, and C, do A, B, and C. If not, because it's part of the process. One step has to happen before another. Surrender the idea you can fix someone so that way you can surrender to your creativity, which will also help you to surrender your addictions. For some of you, your addictions is connected to the idea you can fix someone. Let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. Let your imagination soar. But in order to do this, you got to surrender the idea you can fix someone because you got toxicity flowing all through you with addictions and then wanting to control this and control that. And now you're creating from a limited space. But if you surrender to the wonder and awe of life and surrender to saying no when you must in order to be in alignment to this wonder and awe, you'll be able to surrender to this creativity effortlessly. Some of you, you're not able to create because whatever this is you're creating, you're wasting it on wanting to fix somebody. It's you having a particular market, but you're focused on that slice of bread. But this slice of bread to you is the market. Your higher self is giving the Bible, yo, stop playing with me. Your higher self is literally coming through like this. Stop playing with me. This is obviously a message for a celestial gatekeeper. You can be connected to any which realm. You'll feel it immediately. You'll get a sense of rejection. You'll get a sense of you not being able to fully do all that you want to do in that moment. Harness the energy of the planet. Be one with source and ground those roots. Yeah, ground your light. Let your soul shine. Yeah, see, some of you are in between worlds because your focus is where it doesn't have to be, plain and simple. And you have to clear and activate. Your focus is where it doesn't have to be. Cosmic ancestors, they're literally waiting for you to ask them for guidance and voice your concerns within you. There's certain uh, cells within you that are waiting for you to call on them, which is a reflection of your ancestors. Yes. Divine will. Let go of fear. Going back to getting that out of your verbiage, doing stuff with fear. No, no. There's so many different um, organizations or corporations or teams that really thrive or connect to that. I mean, we all have that at some point, but when you go through this evolution and this spiritual journey to connect to your cosmic heart, you start to really see all these things for all that it is, and you only have one option: to keep going with it or to change that motherfucker. Try again. Try what? That's crazy as hell. Try what? You're not doing anything. When you're trying, you're not doing anything. Literally not doing anything, because whatever it is that you're trying, you're doing it again. So obviously, see it. Listen, the word try needs to be at trial, and a decision has yet to be made. So if you're doing something, you're no longer in a trying state. Simple things. Here's an example for some of you that'll help you break the ice to get you in your groove, respectfully so, because this tends to happen all over. Someone tells you good morning, ask them who passed, who has transitioned. What are you mourning? What you committed to? 122:22 on the timer. What you committed to? The life through his story that they shoved down your brain and through your throat, or the experiences that you live by recognizing that, and now you're switching it based upon the paradigm you want to be in for shift two. Manifestors. The pioneer speaks life into existence. Communication is key. Happiest on your own, but you also thrive with support. Manifestors. Some of you may be a manifestor here. I mean, to even know, how do you know if you're controlling someone? That obviously that would have to be specifics as to what the situation would be. But generally speaking, yeah. Continue to have the conversation or have the conversation with yourself. We have chosen here again, popping through. Purple shirt is going to be of significance. Solar plexus number 972. Heaven gate code. Heaven God code 972. The shelves are cleared. High priestess philanthropy. Great solar flash. You're the bridge. Psalm 89 verse 3. I have made a covenant with my chosen. Let me see what else is coming through here. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. Full moon. So, okay, Taurus, that eclipse, that lunar eclipse. What was being purged out of your system is your first experience of being taken care of and the sacred values you picked up because whoever it was that was your guardian or was taking care of you at that time because you were still a child, this is some of the things that you are now purging out of your system. So now we're looking at the ages of 1 to 5. Speaking of 1 to 5 days, 1 to 5, 1 to 7. The ages of the development of the spiritual body. 742. And we looked at number 724. What's 742? So the flips are 23, 23, 32, 32, 724, and 742, y'all. All right, let's look at this. Hey, yo, the lion is enough. Your willpower is enough. It's 742. Adi Day, is that how it's pronounced? Let me see. Adi Dai. Let's look at this metaphysically. Aridai. Adi Dai. Adi Dai. Strong, worthy, deserving. This represents the adversary in man's consciousness. Okay. Aridai, one of the sons of Haman. Haman, the Jews' enemy. In the book of Esther, chapter 9, verses 9 and 10. Haman was an Agagite or Amalekite. The Agagites and Amalekites, were descended from Agag, who represents the adversary in man's consciousness. The Agagites represent or symbolize the animal forces, the appetites and passions. They are warlike, rebellious, and destructive, and are very detrimental to man's spiritual growth. Aridai, strong, worthy, deserving, son of Haman, and Agagite, represents a belief that the unrestrained animal activities in man, his appetites and carnal desires, are necessary to his well-being and should be sustained by him. Also, that they are too deeply rooted in his consciousness to be overcome. This thought must be destroyed and its substance must be given over to strengthening the true thoughts of men. And as I read that, heart chakra, that's where the key is. That's where the key is. That's where the key is. Destroying the belief that you cannot be in control of your carnal desires. If you're going to control something, control that. For some of you, there's something here that you are controlling that represents a carnal desire, but it's in the physical, animated version of a person. What is going on here? I can't even. So, have the conversation with yourself about. Some of you are having conversations with people about what it is that you have to destroy to transmute. And whoever this is that you're speaking to, they're not versed in what it means for you to have a cosmic heart and the decisions that you have to make to come through or bring through this solution and whatever problem this is that you may be having with family. Some of you are literally here to set the record straight, to bring it back together. Mm, to each its own on what is being brought back together or who is being brought back together. That also speaks of what you have to disconnect from with harmony. Some of you have disconnected from things, and there's still this essence of rebellion still connected to it, or even if it's not in your actions, it's in your thoughts. I can have a conversation. Let's say an example like that. I'll have a conversation with someone for, I ask them a couple questions, or let's say a conversation for 2 minutes. I'm going to know exactly who you are, exactly who you are, just off of a 2 minute conversation. And that shit right there is long. 2 minutes is a long conversation because most cases, I'm watching the body language. The body has its own language too, you know? So have the conversation with yourself. Allow your intuitive guidance to assist with structuring your vision of your mind's eye beyond material constructs. This will help you to emotionally withdraw, move on as you go through the transformation. Because what you're learning here, especially with the waiting game, Mars and Aries, you're at a crossroads because you have yet still to learn patience. It's not waiting, it's what you do while you wait. Patience, being patient is what you're doing while you're waiting. So that's part of this game here. Allow your intuitive guidance to assist you with structuring your mind's eye beyond material constructs. See, astral travel, caution needed when it comes to what? Let's see. Let's look at it. Caution needed. Look at that. Foundations and achievements is at the bottom of the deck, speaking of. Because your partner, the love of your life, and the level it goes, for some of you here, what I'm picking up on is reflecting your partnerships with your family. And that may be majority, but something simply said, but so overlooked. Solar plexus. There you go. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Clear as day. Clear as day. Because those are the cards that came out, right? Harness the energy of the planet, be one with source and ground those roots. What does it say here? 18, moon's energy, let your light shine. Going back to the verse in Matthew. Immediately after the distress of those days, the sun will be darkened. Okay, your physical body is going to go through this process of transformation so you can move on from this distress, as the moon will not give its light. Okay, it's not going to bring forth memories connected to certain emotions, or emotions connected to certain memories. So that way, okay, you can fully allow your intuitive guidance to assist you with structuring your vision of your mind's eye beyond material constructs by having the awareness, full awareness of your solar plexus, okay, which is your fourth brain. Then we have, Palace, Athena, segment. Spear and shield, owl, olive trees, wisdom, psychic abilities, serpent, goddess of war, clever with patterns. There you go. Connection to creative learning and expression, protector. You may want to look into different stories about Athena, Sekhmet, goddesses of war, Neith, specifically Neith. Neith is Palace. Neith is Athena, but Greek, basically. So Neith, Mama Universe. Read more up on Neith is what I'm getting. Neith, Neith. Source hides you as the great you are until you realign with your higher self or selves. You was reading up on Neith. Ashe. Bridge the gap with wise responses or actions. Begin to trust your truth. Once you tap into that Neith energy, especially if you have Sagittarius placements, because Sagittarius represents Neith, or Neith represents Sagittarius. Once you dive into that, you get a clearer, a much stronger insight of that energy. Begin to trust your truth, that of the soul, in connection to the cosmos. We have Source. Again, Source said, Source is hiding you as the great you are until you realign with yourself. This is an example of day and night, life-changing day and night, 1 year. For some of you, 1 year. For something that's supposed to take 20. Someone you know, but just aligning with Source signal. Someone is coming into your life that is connected to your divine willpower. I'm getting a vision of someone in a daze. And then something comes up. Next you go, and it's what you've been, it's everything you've been waiting for. Not even waiting game, come up here. You have to move away from you're okay, going back to taking something from the past into this new version is the only reason why this hasn't opened. Something that is complex, you want to simplify, follow the voice of your heart. You will know that you're following the voice of your heart. 1717 will pop through. We have Healer here. This is the past. Paris. 13. Human design. Tell the truth. Pull 1 to 3 oracle cards. This is the past. Healer. Let me go in the hidden worlds. Show me this. Source, show me this, because you showed up a few times here. What do you want to show them here? Palo Santo. Smell it. The pathway. Wants to show you the pathway. Direction, purpose, and change. I'm telling you, something's changing here. It's that vibe. Wherever you at, you just have this 137-17. Not 17-17, but that 3 is there and 3 popped up. Yeah, 3 was the first one. Yeah, astral travel. 17-17. Listen, some of you won't, wherever you at right now, some of you gonna have like this flash moment, a solar flash, a gut feeling solar flash. 972. 17-17, where you just gonna get up and you're gonna walk into your new life. However that looks to you. 17. Look at that. Fairy energy. Think this shit is a game? I don't think you do. Just hit my left elbow. Be ready to receive. Growth, expansion of flowering. Yo, yes. Insight. Neath. Insight. 22. Let's go. Let's go. 8. The pathway. The pathway is 8. The pathway, the gate is open right now in this Scorpio season to do what? Magical tools, writing, star crafting, insight. The gate is open to do what? Okay. Okay. Hi. The leap. Okay. The path is open for the leap to open like a lotus. Yo. That's what's flowering, the lotus. Yeah, that's big Scorpio energy right there. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Revelation. Revelation 12:12. And speaking of the ascension symptoms, right? That we picked up on. Because that's 7:7 right there. 16:25. The synchronicity that you're being asked to do this message to take note of what you're experiencing 1717, not 1177 or 7711. 17 17, not 71, 17, or 11, or 1771. No, 17, 17. Don't force it. That's, as a messenger, this will be someone who has a conversation with themselves. I'm confirming this for you. 17, this is okay. This would be someone who already has it as that, but you may have wavered off of the manifestation or the connection between you and that synchronicity, or your conversation between you and the universe within you that is showing outside. Then open like the lotus. No one's going to clean you off. You want to clean yourself off. Manifester, you can do this on your own. Yes, you will receive that support to do what you have to do. But this next step, it's on you. Hold on. Let me see what revelation thingy. Yeah. What? It starts off the woman in the great red snake. That's the okay. It's the title. Why? What? 12. So be happy, everyone who lives in heaven, but terrible trouble will happen to the earth and the sea. The devil has come down to you now. He is very angry. He knows that he has only a short time to hurt people. Mm. Who is this? Show me that. Show me that. But you know the way. Yes. You notice how I said the devil came down, has come down? The devil has come down. Ain't he supposed to rise up? Ain't it? Anyway, girl, yo, intuitive flow, Scorpio, as you elevate the snakes, just popped up on the thing. Your video, your Scorpio video. I better go tap into that damn video. Shit. Not that damn video, but that video. You feel me? Yep, can't close it. There you go. The dragon realized that they had thrown him down to earth, so he chased after the woman who had given birth to the. Nope, nope, nope. There go the baby. Give me a second. All right. A very wonderful thing then appeared in the sky. I saw a woman who was wearing the sun like her clothes. I'm telling you, some of y'all really out here living out these stories for real. Shit, I know my ass is. Both of my parents is a whole couple in the back. Anyway, a very wonderful thing then appeared in the sky. I saw a woman who was wearing the sun like her clothes. The moon was under her feet. A crown of 12 stars was on her head. She was pregnant. She screamed with pain and she tried to give birth to her baby. Speaking about the Empress who has showed up quite often. Then another wonderful thing appeared in the sky, speaking of appearances or apparitions, things of that nature in the sky. Then another wonderful thing appeared in the sky. It was a very big red dragon. It had 7 heads and 10 horns. There was a crown on each head. So those were the 7 to 9 crafts, lessons, experiences, okay, that you have gone through have overcome. There was a crown on each head. You gained the crowns on each head. Its tail beat away a third of the stars from the sky. It threw them down on the earth. Then the dragon stood in front of the woman who would soon give birth to her baby. He was waiting there to eat her child as soon as he was born. The woman gave birth to a son. He was a man who would rule all the nations of the world with strong authority. Then someone quickly took her child away. He went up to God and to his throne. The woman ran away into the wilderness. God had prepared a special place to keep her safe there for 1,260 days. Then a war started in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. The dragon and his army of angels fought against Michael and his angels. This is a whole galactic warfare. But the dragon and his army were not strong enough to win the battle. They no longer had a place for themselves in heaven. Michael and his angels threw the great dragon out of heaven. The dragon is called the devil or Satan. Well, here goes my solar flash moment. It's the book of Revelation, right? Which is the book you should read first to get to Genesis. You have your revelation about what is to happen, especially in this game of life that you have entered. You have come here to do shit backwards, to then go forwards. When I tell you, they just be, man, there's so many systems in society that one of these days we gonna have to chat about that. We're gonna have to chop it up. Some of y'all come up on here, whatever, but they just be out here playing. And if you really don't take a moment to see the fuckery that they can have you under, if you allow it, boy. The dragon is called devil and Satan. Like once you start to dive deeper, because the Bible was a baby. The Bible's a baby. This is why I said it's great when it comes to using it as a craft or a tool. The dragon is called the devil or Satan. Time, Saturn. The constructs of time, the false authorities is what is eating the child. And speaking of the first traumatic experience, not knowing who one truly is, now that something different. But see, this is how people instantly get this text misconstrued. The dragon is called the devil or Satan. When you look at the word love and lived, very similar, just backwards. What's not us? What is not us? Read that shit backwards. Got to be fucking shitty right now. What is not us? The National Academy of Television, Arts, and Science. It's the Emmys. I said what's not us because that is Satan backwards. If you really want to know what the real illusion is, I mean, That's why that shit right there didn't make no sense when you look at it from a literal text. It won't make any sense. It will not make sense. Ay, ay, ay. Why? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Which has to do with sports. This is for those of you who were um, pro athletes, semi pro athletes at some point. All right. Whether you were signed with the contract, you're about to awaken to everything that you are right now. It had everything to do with the sport that you did and the way you're actually bringing in um because I do have other athletes and stuff that be tapping in. So um you're being put in a position to plant seeds that is connected to an ethereal primordial power. This is why the career in that sport was for the duration that it was. And also, what is significant, who you've met, but more so the locations you went to. All right. Okay. Mm-hmm. What is that? Why I just had a taste for Senora Mueller. Now that is this. What in the Senora Mueller. Usually something women would drink to cleanse the womb space. Yeah, helps with fertility. Why am it's a prenatal. I'm tasting that. Yeah, see? Okay, what? Dr. Mueller? Let's continue. She screamed with pain and she tried to give birth to her baby. Then another wonderful thing appeared in the sky. It was a very big dragon. We just read that. Okay. Da, 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 da. Okay. Then the war started in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. The dragon and his army of angels fought against Michael and his angels. But the dragon and his army were not strong enough to win the battle. This is where we are today. The old story, his story, is not strong enough to win the battle. They no longer had a place for themselves in heaven, within themselves. They no longer have a place within themselves. Michael and his angels threw the great dragon out of heaven. I'm getting reptilian confusion. Out of the dome space. The dragon is called the devil or Satan. And we just looked at Natas. He is a snake who has been there since long ago. He tells lies to deceive the whole world. Television. They threw him down to the earth together with all his angels. Then I heard a loud voice in heaven that said, now God has saved his people from Satan's power. God has saved his people. The God within yourself, within the people, is going to save one from the illusions and being struck by confusion. God has shown his great power as king. Now we know the kings in the tarot deck to be four of them, which embody the one emperor. Let me see. His Messiah has authority to rule Capricorn, King of Pentacles, which is pre-emperor energy. He never stopped telling our God that our brothers and sisters are guilty. So his Messiah has authority to rule. So wait. Now God has saved his people from Satan's power. The God within you saves you from self-destruction. God has shown his great power as king. Okay, so now I'm getting solar plexus. Shows your great power through your will, your divine will. So his Messiah has authority to rule. Satan said bad things against our people. He never stopped telling our God that our brothers and sisters are guilty, but now God has thrown him out of heaven. The lies that are being thrown out once you have been revealed the truth of what it is that you're experiencing, so you can open up as the lotus you are and take that leap of faith that is connected to bliss. Bliss occurs when the pineary and the pituitary gland are having the most beautiful intercourse with one another, creating this orgasmic experience that you call bliss. Our brothers and sisters fought against him and they won. They could do this because of the death of the lamb. Death of the lamb. Lamb also is the connection to sacrifices, Pisces, death of old beliefs, death of being lied to, so that way you can transform. Die to transform. They could do this because of the death of the lamb as a sacrifice, not an actual lamb. Belief systems that no longer serve you, so you can emotionally withdraw. Eight of Cups, which is Saturn in Pisces, which is at 0 degrees right now. Let's look at that. Pisces, so we have to look at Aquarius 30. A large pool filled with white water lilies in bloom. Oh my Lanta. Integration and synthesis, putting it all together. Creative intelligence at its best. Yes, and that's the card you got as well with the 1717. And it's right here. Intelligence is simplifying the complex. Creative intelligence at its best. Having gone on ahead and seen what can be, yet suspending your vision so that freedom and open-endedness are honored. Living on many planes at once in intricate refinement. You have the ability to hold in place many independent variables as become relevant, and especially distinctive quality of unqualified or unconditional regard and respect for one and all. Universal brotherhood and sisterhood as the impulse of the future active now. See how the energy flows? We're going from this verse to Saturn being like, yo, holla at me, read that Pisces, and here we are. They continue to speak God's true message. They were also ready to die as God's servants. Ooh, see, this is where you gotta be mindful. You pick and choose. You see, not a servant. You serve it, you're not a servant. Okay? This is why they are able to win against Satan. You got to change this verbiage because not necessarily so. Let me see here. They continue to speak God's true message. They were also ready to die as God's servants. Well, to transform, absolutely, do that. But serve. Don't be a servant. This is why they were able to win against Satan. So be happy, everyone who lives in heaven. Because your thoughts actually determine your dwelling space. Your thoughts are your dwelling space, is your dwelling space. Some of you need to move. Some of you need to reconstruct. But terrible trouble will happen to the earth and the sea. Okay, the devil has come down to you now and he's very angry. He knows. So this ain't This ain't the first time. Okay, these false energies that made themselves real through the allowance of the human experience are now null and void. Yes, indeed. The dragon realized that they had thrown him down to the earth, so he chased after the woman who had given birth to the baby boy. He wanted to catch her, but the woman received the two wings of a very big eagle. Then she could fly to the place in the wilderness that God had prepared for her. In that place, God will keep her safe from the big snake. I'm also getting from disarray to order, because we can see this as the Kundalini energy um, being active and one not knowing how to utilize the energy. In order to see when that eagle comes through with the two wings. So when the eagle comes through with the two wings, you have reached a point of transformation where you're no longer choosing sides. Your human heart's going to have you choosing sides. Your cosmic heart is going to have you transforming this world from your cosmic blueprint. Because there's so many different worlds. So from a higher vantage point, you're now able to it's a Sims game. The dragon, let's see. Then the dragon poured lots of water out of his mouth like a river. He wanted the river of water to carry the woman away, but a big hole opened in the ground. The river that poured from the dragon's mouth went down into the hole that helped the woman to escape. As a result, the dragon was very angry with the woman, so he went away to fight a war against her other descendants. Those are the people who obeys God's command. They continue to trust Jesus and to speak his message. After that, the dragon stood on the shore of the sea. "2020, yeah, your vision becomes way clearer when you read this here book from Revelations to Genesis. Even if you're skimming through it, 202:44, even if you're skimming through it. Because once this aspect of it is revealed to you, you're now able to go through the process of a rebirth much easier. This, you know what? We're going to tap into that another time. That's a whole nother path right there. Okay, the crystal path, we will do that another time though. Mineral spirits and crystal beings. Yeah, because a lot's being crystallized at this time. This is the main reason why clearing and activation is highly important, because the crystallization process is boom, 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 one after the other in terms of whatever it is that you're imagining. You're seeing that shit in a fraction of time. Then we got 44, returning home, returning back to source. 1444, transition, life between lifetimes, love and welcome. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that other download I was getting about what is it? The Cassian. It's the gap within the Saturn rings. And I was just getting messages from that space there. So Saint Bridget came through on this here too. Yeah. And Pan, which Pan, Pan, right? Is a small moon that orbits inside the rings of Saturn. Cassini division. There you go. And then there's also called an Enki gap in Saturn's rings. Rings a bell. Yeah. So stay tuned for those messages, many more messages, as this really felt it was just, but then you already know how we do over here, what we do over here, you feel me? But I'm actually going to close this out. What's tomorrow? Yeah, I should see me live tomorrow. Because these messages have to come out now. They have to come out, they have to come out, they have to come out. So when it comes to these eclipses, listen, do what you do, but know how powerful those energies are. So if you're going to be working with these eclipse energies, be mindful with social media and all this other shit that be going on. Let me tell you this, if you're going to work with energies of such magnitude, be real about yourself, okay? Hold yourself accountable. When you're working with the powerful energy, look at it as, yeah, your initiation. There's certain things you just don't, you just wouldn't want to do when you're working with the particular energy because you just went against yourself. So that there's a massive clearing, an emotional clearing, instinctual clearing, gut energy that is happening, and you're still responding from that space. What use is it for you to work with these energies? It's not about fear, no, this other bullshit. No. Do what you want to do. But all I'm saying is when it comes to any of this, because that's one thing about this over here, me over here, I'm going to hold your ass accountable for whatever it is. At least you're going to feel as though you're going to have to hold yourself accountable. At least you're going to feel as though you have to hold yourself accountable around me. Because you say you're going to do something, there's steps to it. You can't sit here and say that you're going to, squat this amount without warming up and doing activation drills. You're just going to fuck yourself up. This is why I say put it all together. A, B, and C. You can't just work with package A and you thinking that you're going to have B and C. Because you got to put it all together. Some of you are receiving resources and tools to use together. Venus trine Saturn, go off. Go into all these different tools that you have and all these different ideas that are coming through. Write them down, record yourself, do whatever you have to do, because there's a lot of information that is coming in at this time. Look at all this opening that, as I'm saying this is what I'm seeing over here. And he just got me talking about it. So 9/12. Yep. This is going back to the new moon in Virgo, creating new habits. Remember, full moon in Virgo during Pisces season is when you should already be living this new life. We still operating off that energy now. As a moon in Virgo, that's what I am deciding to do up until we get to Pisces season, because that's where I'm being guided to work with the collective. So you're developing new habits when it comes to the way you work with your spirituality, what beliefs you have. If you have this certain type of belief, what do you know about it? Why do you believe it if you don't know so much about it? Or why is it governing your life in the way that it is if there's so much more that you have to learn and you're operating from a space of fear because of the unknown? The unknown is a space for you to have questions and do your research and find your own answers. And yes, there's a lot of information out there, but the one true source, which is also connected to all this clearing that you're doing when it comes to your outside world, so that way when you see this information, you can hear what your soul has to say when that is true to you. Okay? I love you. I see you next time. Okay? I check you later. Ciao.